Hey guys, here's a little tip on driving a manual transmission, and you've probably seen all the fuel economy figures now on new cars, and last few years have been like this. You notice the fuel economy on manual transmission cars is not as good as the automatic. Now we've gone to CVT automatics. There's 6, 7, 8 speed. I think there's 10 speed automatics now. So there's dual clutch automatics. So these are getting better fuel economy on paper than the manual transmission, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But if anybody's out there thinking they want to buy an automatic and they prefer to have a manual, but they're buying an automatic because of fuel economy, there's another way to look at this. When you're driving a manual, I believe it's against the law. It's against the law in where I live in my province. I'm in Canada. That it's illegal to put your car into neutral and coast. Obviously, there's a couple reasons why. If people put their car into neutral, you don't have the control. You can't get back on the gas as quickly. You need to accelerate to get out of the way, or to get in a better position for safety reasons. Or the other reason could be that once you're neutral, and especially when you're on the highway or you're traveling at a speed, trying to find the right gear, trying to get it back into the right gear, you put it in the wrong gear and you could, lock up the wheels or damage the car, lose control of the car. Or just, I guess there's a third reason that people, when they're neutral and something happens, they get confused as to what they have to do. It's just one too many things for people to do while they're driving. So the law states that you got to keep it in gear. So how are they ever going to prove that? I don't know. But the reason I got this tip was I was driving for Uber, and I have a manual transmission, and I'm thinking, man, I'm using a lot of gas. I'm doing Uber Eats, by the way, so I'm using a lot of gas, and I was doing it quite a bit. And I was thinking, man, I need an automatic transmission. My legs are getting sore, my arms are getting sore. I'm just I love driving manual, but I thought, you know what, it's time for me to get an automatic. And I bumped into this young kid. He was doing Uber Eats as well, and we started talking about what kind of car you drive, how much you're spending on gas, blah blah blah. And he says, "Oh man, I save so much money on fuel because I have a manual transmission car, and my brother has an automatic transmission car, same year, same model, same everything, except his is a manual." And I said, "Really?" He says, "Oh yeah, I know how to drive my manual transmission to get better fuel economy." I said, "Oh, okay, that's funny." So then, because I thought, well, isn't the automatic get better fuel economy? He goes, "Oh no, I get far better fuel economy with my manual." So I went away and I started driving, and I started thinking about that and what that kid said, and I started driving a little bit differently. I started to put my car in a neutral. I didn't think it made that much of a big difference, but every chance I get, I put my car in a neutral and try to coast it as far as I can. Now, I'll make another video and go into how you can drive and do it safely without damaging your clutch or damaging your transmission. There's a few little tricks that can help you do this safely, easily, and not cause any damage. But I started doing this, and I save a ton of fuel. My fuel economy, at first I had this little Ford Fiesta, and I thought, man, it's okay on gas, it's not the greatest thing, wish it could be better. But I started driving like this kid. This kid didn't tell me how to drive, but he just said he saved a lot of gas, so I started figuring it out on my own. But he gave me this idea, this young little, call him a little punk, but a nice kid, and he he explained that he saves all this gas, and he was nice enough to tell me and talk to me about it. And I didn't ask him how or why. It's just that the fact of it is because he said he kept records of it, and it was considerable. So it got me the idea. I started driving this way, so thank you to that fellow for sharing that with me. And I thought I'd like to pass that along. Driving a manual transmission doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be using more gas than an automatic transmission, all else being equal. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can enjoy the driving a transmission. Enjoy driving a manual transmission. Usually a manual transmission is cheaper, $1,500 approximately Canadian, cheaper usually, plus taxes, plus your interest costs or whatever. And now you don't have to get worse fuel economy. If you do drive it this way, you'll get as good or better fuel economy than your automatic. I'm very sure of that, because the difference between an automatic and a manual transmission, it's on the ratings, it's a little bit better. It's usually not hugely better, but it's a little bit better. But since I changed my driving style, and it's not like I'm driving slower, I'm just using the driving a different style, different technique. It's considerable. It's much better. It's like 20% better. So that's a significant fuel savings for someone like me who does drive a lot. And I started doing this on my wife's car too. She has a Subaru Forester, manual transmission, and my fuel economy went from about 11.5 liter per 100k down to 10.2. So that's in average driving. So that more than makes up the difference between what an automatic would have made a difference in the same vehicle. So there you are. There's my little tip for driving a manual transmission to get better fuel economy. I'll make another video, some tips on how to do that safely without damaging your transmission or your clutch. And if you have any ideas, if you got any suggestions, please make a comment below or add a link, and let's share this information, and hopefully we can all benefit from it. And I'd love to hear what your ideas are. Thank you.